I originally didn't plan on making this little bonus episode, but considering that it's officially my 12th wedding anniversary since it's past midnight, and I was just reflecting about my wife and marriage, and I may be partial, but I think my wife and I have a pretty amazing marriage. So I thought, I just thought I'd share some quick thoughts, some things that I've learned and I think are great to do. Um, like I said, this is just a few things that was on my mind, and like I said, some things that I think would be great for husbands to do to lead their home and to love their wives. So one of those things is pray daily with and for your wife. This is something I try to do with my wife. I think it's became a great habit and has been something that we both think both view as a blessing in our marriage. So lead your home in prayer. Find out what she needs, prayer over and pray for her. And I think that it's especially encouraging for husbands to do this in the mornings. To start your day off with prayer and to pray over your wife. Another thing, quick thing is, washing your wife with the word. Ephesians 5:25 through 27 says, "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word." So read scripture, together, or read it with your wife or over your wife, or even write or text her, applicable verses to encourage her. If there's something going on in your life and you know that something specifically from scripture would apply to that situation, find it and text that to her. I think that would be a blessing to your wife. Um, Also, learning your wife's love language. There's typically viewed to be five of these, words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time, physical touch. So words of affirmation could be, saying supportive things to your wife. Examples of this could be encouraging her in areas you see her excel in, complimenting how she looks, telling her how much you appreciate everything that she does for you and your family. You know, Maybe give some specific examples of things that she does. Don't just make it generic and say, "Oh, I appreciate everything you do," which can be nice, but be specific and name the things that you actually see that she does. That could be probably appreciated by her. Acts of service. This is doing helpful things for your wife, doing dishes, laundry, cooking for her, giving her a night off from taking care of the kids. Anything that would be removing burdens from her and helping her in the day. Those could be acts of service. Even maybe asking her, "Hey, if you're not sure what to do, be like, hey, what could be helpful for me to do for you to alleviate some stress?" So maybe even ask your wife. Gifts. This is, giving your wife gifts that tell her how much you're thinking about her, how much you love her. Try being aware of things your wife likes without necessarily having to ask. Maybe you might have to ask if you're unaware, but try to see things that she likes and see things that she engages with. If she likes reading, look into some of the authors she enjoys reading and buy her one of their books. But try to be aware. Try to find things that she likes. Maybe it's flowers, maybe it's candy, whatever. But if she likes gifts, maybe try doing something like that. Quality time, spending meaningful time with your wife. That could be watching shows together, even if it's something you might not prefer, but watching something that maybe she likes. It could be going on walks together. It could be participating in an activity together. But spending that quality time, not just you spending the time that your personal time doing everything you want to do, but doing something together. And then there's physical touch. This is physical affection and intimacy. Hugging, cuddling, kissing, maybe even giving your wife a back or foot massage. My wife personally likes her arms caressed while we're snuggling together on the couch. So doing something like that for your wife as well can show her how much you love her. Another thing besides love languages could be, Don't try to fix everything. Sometimes your wife just wants you to listen. I found that sometimes it can be helpful to ask what your wife needs from you when she's sharing her heart. If she's sharing a burden or something going on, um, and you think that you have an idea of how to fix it, because I'm that way. I know a lot of guys are fixers. So if she's sharing a deep hurt or thought with you, just listen and maybe be considerate of asking her what she needs from you. And then also learn each other's strengths and then lean into them. For example, my wife's a planner and she's great with time and she's great with organizing things. So I try to lean into that from on her side. And then on my side, I typically take care of like our finances. So she relies heavily on me to manage our money. And then there's things that we share responsibilities in. So it's good to kind of know where those lines are of what you kind of rely on each other for in different aspects, so that you can lean into each other's strengths. And then also communication. I think everybody says this, but communication is key. Be able to be aware of what's going on. Stay in good communication and try to talk through things, and work through. Don't just give each other silent treatments or anything. You need to be able to communicate through things, so you can be able to learn where you're lacking. And then also, last but not least, love your wife as Christ loved the church. This is probably the most important one. That's 1 Corinthians 13 kind of love, and having a servant leadership mindset. Look at 1 Corinthians 13 and read through those qualities and try to love your wife that way. And that's essentially treating your wife the way you want to be treated. um, like, however you expect to be treated, think of that and say, okay, I need to treat my wife that way. And so, like I said, these are just a few things that I wanted to share. I don't think they're overly difficult things, and maybe some of them are more difficult than others if you're not used to doing some of these things, or you're not used to thinking of doing some of that. But I just wanted to share a few thoughts for what has been helping our marriage be very successful, and just hope that this could be an encouragement to you, considering that, like I said, bonus episode, my 12th anniversary, and just had those things on my mind and thought I'd share it with you. So, hope this was a blessing to you, and peace and God bless.